Hello folks, itsmitya there, and on this channel we are talking about Rubik's cubes, how to solve them with non-standard method like we will be talking about today, and we are building nice patterns on the Rubik's cubes like this one and taking a demos how to do that. So today we are going to answer on the question if it's possible to solve the Rubik's cube by using just sexy move method like this. So let's check it out. Let's get started. First of all, I will unscramble the pattern and the Rubik's cube will be in a solid state. Solid state. Let's undo the corners. Then we will fix up centers and clean up the image. Like this. And now it should be clean and ready to go. So first of all, what is sexy move? Sexy move, according to Arnold van Galen, is a set of 4 moves: RU, R prime, U prime, RU, R prime, U prime. If you do this 4 times more, you will reach same state you started with. That's the trick. Okay, I'm holding 5x5 and not 3x3, but you will be probably working with 3x3 because 5x5 can help me with dots. I will draw dots on each of the layer. They would look like this. And as soon as we build dots on each of the layer, they appear on the opposite layers. So if we build white dots on yellow layer, yellow dots will appear on white layer. And we should notice that they form so-called line, I would say, which go through that dots, and that lines are parallel on each of the layer, and that's crucial. Here we have also orange dots, and line which go through that orange dots should be parallel to a line which go through blue dots on the orange side, and for green red, as you can see. We would be talking about the game of sexy move, and we will try to solve the Rubik's cube using that sexy move method. And generally speaking, to solve the Rubik's cube using sexy moves only would be possible only in 50% only, because of the issue caused by the shift of the layer like this. If we shift it by 90 degrees and our dots will become perpendicular, you will not be able to solve the cube by using the sexy move, because sexy move consists of 4 moves and that one shift requires from you at least 1 more. So we have even numbers of movements available, and we are required to have at least 1 odd to finish the solution. Usually you do this, that will solve these 2 edges, but then you will find out that you will go into a trap where 2 edges are not solid, and in order to solve them you need to shift the layer by 1. And this is why it's possible to solve the Rubik's cube by sexy move method only in 50% of your cases. I will explain how to do this in a few minutes. Okay, so we have found that in several cases you will trap into parity, and the 5x5 cube will help us to identify if we are in the parity by checking the layers and dots and lines which are going through that dot. So if you have all the lines parallel, like now, you are in a good position and you will be able to solve. If you will have at least one layer shifted, you are in the trap. But if you have two layers shifted, so for example, this line will be perpendicular to that and that line would be perpendicular to that, you are still fine and you can finish the solving as soon as you have even numbers of movements to finish the solution. So let's start and try to guess what can we do. If we do the sexy move, we will notice that this top element has moved there and that side edge has moved there and that top edge has moved on the place of the first element. So we see the movement. They are on the so-called carousel. And if we proceed, probably should be 3 times to get the solid position again. So well, we see that cube is almost solved, but we see that 2 corners are now swapped, and that 2 corners are also swapped. That's good. So we can try to finish it by moving sexy move again, doing sexy moves again. If we proceeded 3 times more, we will solve the cube. Now let's try to perform sexy moves using right hand 3 times, and then I just want to fix that 2 corners. We will use left hand and perform sexy moves using left hand. Now we have that 2 corners fixed, and that 2 corners are swapped, and that 2 corners are swapped. So we can say that we can control one layer and swap 4 elements, 2 pairs, and we can say that the rest of the cube is unchanged, and that's crucial. We want to do moves which will not break the rest of the the rest of the cube. So I will undo the movement and we will have solved cube. And let's write down our first formula, which would be capital R. The capital R would represent a sexy move performed by right hand, and capital L 3 times. So capital L would be saying that we are performing left-handed sexy move this way. So the formula R R R L L L. Okay, great. Now let's move on, and what if we try to get a set of 6 movements? We will try to stick to number 6 because it's magic. It will help us to solve a cube. And perform, for example, 2 times right sexy move. Then we will try to turn the cube and perform 3 times or more left sexy move. And I see that we have almost solved state that we need to move edges along. So we will again turn the cube and perform the sexy move with right hand. And what happened? We see that 3 corners has just moved around. That corner is on this place, and that 3 corners has moved. That corner moved from that position, that corner moved from that position, and that corner moved from its position there. It's like you are doing this formula when you solve a cube. I'll adjust corners. So we have second formula which helps us to move corners around, and it is R, R, turn, L, 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 turn, R. So let's use lowercase annotation for a letter, and that will say that the letter stays for a turn. So if we say lowercase r, it will mean turn to the right, and lowercase l will mean turn to the left. So let's fix this and adjust corners. Now we know how to move corners. And what if we, for example, try to, for example, do R, R, turn, L, 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 turn, R. What if we want to roll back this? Probably we should turn cube to the left and try to start with left hand and proceed with the right. So 2 times L, turn to the right, 3 times R, to the left, and 1 time L. Oh, we see that 2 corners are changing the orientation, and it looks like to the back. So we can write down the formula which helps us to change the orientation of corners, and let's repeat it. R, R, turn, L, 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 turn, R, turn, and roll back. L, L, turn, R, 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 turn, and we are finishing the move with the left sexy move. So now we know how to adjust corners, and this is great. Let's try to perform sexy move using right hand like this, and again, and try to, for example, experiment with the left hand and then to the right hand. Oh, whoa, 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 we have solved cube, and we have 2 edges, changed the orientation, and looks like we're going to work around the top cross. So I see that we have changed 2 edges of a top cross. Let's proceed and see what would happen. Yeah, the cross actually changes. So we have flipped 2 edges which are one in front of another. And if we proceed, wow, nice, we have 3 corners changed the orientation. So this is great. We now have 2 formulas more. So one formula which changes edges on the top cross, and second formula which is extension of that first one, would allow us to change orientation of 3 corners. So the formula is R, R, turn, L, turn, R. And if we proceed, we will adjust our corners. And we'll do this again. Great, now we know how to change the cross, and now we know how to change orientation of 3 corners. at one shot. So let's try to somehow move elements of the cross. To be honest, I've prepared a formula for you because I was experimenting on this cube for a long time, but you may try to find out shortest one, and if you will find it, please leave it in the comments of the video. I would be happy. So the formula would be R, then turn, and again R, and turn to the left, and then I will get 1 R to the right, 1 R to the left, 1 R. So we have solved cube, just a bit broken corners. But if we check, this edge is on its position, and these 3 edges has moved. So that edge has moved there, that edge, white red, has moved there, and that edge has moved there. So they are moving around, and that's cool. So R, turn, R, turn back, R, turn back, R. Great. And let me try to fix that. So write down this formula. What I'll do, I will try to fix the cube, and now we need to just adjust the corners, right? So I will try to move that corner down, and I will try to do. Yeah, so I will fix the corners, and should be this, and that one should go with that corner. So I'll orient them in parallel. Almost broken my cube. So we have solved cube. We have formulas which helps us to move corners, move edges. We have formula which helps us to flip edges of the cross, and we have formulas to actually align corners of the cube during the solution. So the strategy would be to first solve bottom cross, then we will try to solve edges, and then we will try to solve top cross, and after that we will align corners and put them on their own places, and then at the last step we will adjust corners so they would be directed properly. And we have all the formulas we needed for that. So let's try to do this. So I will scramble the cube. And our dots will help me to identify if we are in the trap. So this line is perpendicular. Green red also perpendicular, and orange blue parallel. So I'm fine. This cube is solvable. I can solve it to a solid state. Now what do we have? I have white layer. Let's start from it, and we will try to put edges for the white layer. So I see that this white green, which belongs there, should be moved. So I'll try to move it using sexy move, and I see it has now taken proper position, but it is flip it, and I want to unflip it, so I will move it to the top, I move it to the back, then I will perform right, and now if we do this, you will see that it is now on its position and is properly aligned. I want to do the same for the orange. I see that if I perform sexy move, it will go there, and from that position it will drop down. So 1, 2. We have orange improperly flipped, so I will put it back to the top, so it's now on the back, and I will try to use left sexy move to flip it, and then I will try to get it to its position. Now I'm fine. 2 elements are missing, so white red should be there, right? So I need to perform left sexy move, and that element should be there, so right sexy move. Now I have finished white cross, and now I need to solve edges. So let's say this edge belongs from there, so I need to do 2 times. So green blue belongs to this position, so 1 time. Improperly flip it, so let's get it back. It is there right now, so I will turn the cube, perform right sexy move and left sexy move. It's now on its position, but we have moved recently installed edge, so let's get it back. Now on the top we see red blue. Red blue belongs to this position, and it's just 1 run only. And we have orange red, which belongs to this position, so I'll use left sexy move to install it on its position. Great. Now we have solved yellow cross already. I think that you will use formula to change the cross, but I'll probably use the formula to change it a bit. Now we have a corner, right? Now, yeah, so to get, I'll probably try to reach a dot position, not a dot. Yeah, so the dot position. If you perform a formula and flip 2 edges, you can start with any position. Just use RRLR. You will get a corner. So then you need to place the corner the way that 2 edges are on the right hand, which would be flipped. So RRLR. And now you need to have minus, which will, I would say, touch you. And then you perform your formula again. This way you will change minus and it will become a cross. Now we will find an edge which is properly installed and move all others. So we see that this one should be there, that one should be there, and that one should be there. Our formula is R, 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 R. Great, now we have almost solved cube, and now we need to install all white corners to the white layer. So I see that this corner is on its position probably, and that one also. So we can reuse the formula R, 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 L, L, L. So that pairs would swap and that pairs would also swap. So they are on proper positions. Now we have that one corner should be there, so I'll use the formula which will move corners. R, R, L, 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 R on its position. And these two corners should be aligned, right? So we should adjust them so they will point to the right side. R, R, L, 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 R. Then turn and L, L, R, 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 and L. So we have completed solution for the white layer. Now we need to install corners on the top properly. This one is on its place and this three should be moved. So to move corners we use the formula, and now we see that this corner should be there, so I will try to move them using left hand sexy move. So R, R, it was L, L, then 3 times R, and then 1 L. We have all corners on their positions, and now we will just adjust them. So this green should be on the green layer, so R, R, L, 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 R, L, L, 3 times R, and 1 time L. And now we want this yellow box to be on the yellow layer, so R, R, L, 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 R, L, L, R, 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 L. Great, you have your cube solid. I have my cube solid. And I think that you will be able to repeat after me and learn all the formulas, and you will be able to solve Rubik's Cube using just sexy move method. Now you know how to do this. Have fun!